This is a mind map, but it's not a good mind map. So let's stop talking about that mind map. Let's start talking about a great mind map. A mind map that's going to get that information from the textbook into your head so that you can get it back down on the page during that crucial exam day. How does that sound? We're also going to be talking about Love Island. Now I hear you asking, what is the link between Love Island and mind maps? Well, you're going to have to stick around until the end of the video to find out. Now, it's not going to be enough just reading through the textbook. As you know, it just doesn't get that information in your head. What you need to do is reprocess that information. Now, I see mind maps as the bread and butter of any revision, and this is for any knowledge-based subject. So we're talking history, we're talking English, we're talking science, we're talking I can't think of any other knowledge-based ones right now, but there are some. Geography, anything. Did I say history? I'm going to be looking at 5 mistakes that students tend to do while making mind maps. I would say 90% of my students are making at least 2, maybe 3 of these mistakes that we're going to be looking at today. So stick around and we're going to sort out more efficient mind maps. So that leads us to mistake number 1. And if you take nothing else from this video, take this. This is the most important thing that I'll say about mind maps. And that this bottom one has way too much information. Now this completely misses the point of what mind maps should be. Mind maps shouldn't be all the information from the textbook on the page. What it should be is a list of linked prompts for your brain to work on and access information. So for instance, you can see this top one only has a few specific words that are going to mean that my memory is jogged about certain things. Now at the end of the video, I'll show you a bit more about exactly what that means. But in summary, way too much information. This is perfect. Prompts are what you're looking for. Mistake number 2, not adding any color to your mind maps. Now, color is absolutely essential for your brain to have a snapshot of inspiration when you're under pressure in that exam. It's going to remember those different colors because they represent different categories for your brain to link in. So always add as much color as possible. And again, I think this top one is a good example. Felt tip, coloring pencil, whatever you think is best. Number 3, on this top one, you have drawings. These drawings represent imagery in your head, which powerfully lock into your brain so that you can remember it much better. It's an alternative form of a prompt. Definitely add drawings to your mind map. Number 4, always hand draw your mind maps. This bottom one you can see is just typed up on a computer. Maybe it's even copy and pasted, I don't know. But what your brain isn't doing when you're doing it on a computer and typing is actively working on that information. There's something very powerful about picking up a pen and actually writing the letters out that means it sticks into your head. So get off the computer if you're doing mind maps on that and get a nice big A3 bit of paper, go old school with it and get that pen. And finally, mistake number 5, and this is not recapping your mind maps. This is an essential part of any revision. I'm going to do another video on how to recap later on. But effectively, mind maps aren't just meant to be drawn and then stored away and never looked at again. They're used as tools in order to continue to refresh and revise that information. Once you've made that mind map, you should be looking at it 10, 15, 20 times afterwards until you're sure that the information is from the page into your head. So in celebration of Love Island, which is actually going to be on TV tonight at the time that I filmed it, so I'm very excited, I have recategorized last year's Love Island into a mind map form. So that should be appearing on the screen right about now. And as you can see, what I've done, this is very nerdy and I realize that. I've recategorized Love Island 2019, I've said 18 here, into different themes. And I've made those themes love, friendship, and breakups. So I want to show you my thought process while recapping, how I can use this as a tool to get the information in my head. So I'm going to start at Love Island 2019 in the middle. And then I'm going to go off into the category of love. And then I'm going to go to Molly May and Tommy. Now this tells me because they're in the love category, they must have been a couple that were in love until the end. I'm then going to go to the offshoot, and I've given myself the prompt, I love you. Now I can remember the reason I wrote that was because Molly May and Tommy were the only couple to actually say the words I love you on last year's Love Island. Adorable. Next up, we've got an elephant, and I've also drawn a picture of an elephant to make sure that I remember it. Now this reminds me, although I haven't put the information down there, that they had a toy elephant that symbolised their love. It was kind of cute, kind of gross sometimes, but anyway, I remember it. And then finally, I've said that they've come second, so this reminds me that they came second place. So I could obviously add way more information than that, but that's essentially what I want to be doing when recapping these mind maps. Now what I'd advise is scheduling when you're recapping these mind maps. And what I do is a revision tracker for this. I'm going to put a link somewhere here or at the end of the video to my previous video on this. And that's a way of systemizing and tracking when you're recapping the information so that you know it's going in your head. So there's 5 mistakes that people do during mind maps. I hope it's been really useful. As always, any questions you have about revision, please comment below. I answer to every single comment that comes in. And if you're watching Love Island this year, I very much hope you enjoy it. I know I will. I'm not really looking forward to not having a life for the next 2 months. But anyway, should be good. See you later.